What's up, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. Hey, I want to talk to you about bugging out and survival. And this is something that I kind of gave you a heads up on a little while ago, but I'm finally going to address it now. So there have been a number of things over the last year which I think people should be arguably even more concerned about. So like wildfires in California, the flooding and the mudslides, which killed like I think 17 people, and it's not just the event that kills people, but it's how it affects everyone else. So right, if you were in California, there were tons of areas you couldn't get to. There was a lot of traffic jams. You couldn't leave. There were people literally running from the fire on the highways as the fire was encroaching on the highway. And, people just didn't have a lot of time. Wind shift and natural disasters are one of those things where we don't really blame anyone, but I think people are generally really unprepared. But one of the things that is pretty predictable, kind of like weather and climate, is that disasters are going to happen. So hopefully it doesn't happen to you, but I've addressed this before and I put together a bug out kit. I wanted to put out another one though, in the spirit of the mudslides and the wildfires that displaced a lot of people, which were really tough. This is not going to be a comprehensive bug out bag. It's some stuff that I had from previous reviews. It's some stuff that I thought was worth sharing with you guys, and so I'm going to put together one. I picked up some additional pieces and I wanted to put it together in a way that I thought would kind of generally help kind of the bulk of people, regardless of where you are, whether it's California or Northeast or down south or the Gulf or whatever it might be. And so it's just going to be kind of a spread of things that I think are pretty relevant and could be useful. Now, the thing I will say is that it's going to be a giveaway. So one person is going to get the whole thing. I'm going to put it in a backpack and I will explain the rules of the giveaway. We won't do, it's not going to be a time giveaway. You don't no limerick or anything to guess between those two. All right. So first of all, the issue with bug out bags in general is that sometimes people overthink them. And so I'm going to just put together some pretty basic stuff here that I think is pretty useful. So first of all, you're going to get this little carabiner. This is not for climbing, but this is a great way to kind of tie things together, especially if you're trying to clip a bag to a backpack or something like that. Very useful. I also have a little bit of what we call like an EDC tube here, so the tops, the ends screw off. It's waterproof. You can put matches in here, medication, maps, social security cards, things you don't want to get wet. And these are really nice for kind of keeping things from being totally ruined. Now on the hopefully you don't need it, but here's a little Mylar solar blanket, something to wrap yourself in, keep yourself warm if you're kind of stuck in a car or camping down for a day. Hopefully things will stay on the table here. Obviously I also want to talk about other containers, right? So IDs, whatever you might need. The nice thing about this is it has a really nice long like paracord lanyard, so you could take this off and use it for cordage if you needed to. This one is pretty cool because it opens up like this and you can throw things in it. I did a review on this, I really like those. Let's talk about drinking here, and drinking is one of probably the most important things. So you can buy these emergency type water pouches online. They are really fantastic. They have about 4¼ fluid ounces. This one has 4¼ fluid ounces. This one 4¼ fluid ounces. So it's a great way to give yourself a quick hit of fluids, and they can be really, really important. I mean, this is maybe the most important thing, right? Dehydration, being on the move, being highly active, especially maybe when you're not that active, can be really dehydrating, and staying hydrated is the most important thing. Now, if you don't have emergency water like this, and I will say emergency water is also great for kind of activating MRE heaters, which we'll talk about a little later. If you don't have these, you might have access to water, but it might not be transportable or good, clean drinking water. So I have a couple things. This is kind of like a reinforced Ziploc bag. They're meant for water. They have kind of a widening bottom here, so you can actually stand them up when they open up. This one is a little bit more like a canteen. It has a little carabiner on it. I've done a review on these, I think. Maybe I need to still do them. But again, kind of like a pop top, like a sports water bottle, so you can pick up water if you find it, but that's not going to do you any good if it's not drinkable. So I'm going to include these two. These are aqua tabs. They're basically like chlorine kind of water purification tabs. You take 1 or 2 of them out depending on how much water you have. There's a little instruction card in there. I've used these before. You just throw them in there. Really easy way to purify water. Now you also might need to drink it with other people, and so I'm going to include this little bad boy. It's a silicone extendable cup, and this could be great for not only water but storing things if you have like snacks or food or something that you can bring along with you. Great way to use that. Now obviously let's also talk about heating things up, and this is where it's going to get a little little weird because water and heat can go hand in hand. Sometimes you want to boil that water. This is a little interesting thing, and I've never used it, but I got it kind of out of curiosity. It's a little parabolic dish, so you can reflect sunlight. You can put your little tinder bundle right into this little, like, it looks like a cigarette holder, and the sunlight over, you can focus the sunlight on it and kind of start to burn things. There's a little notch here where you can kind of pull this down, and so it's nice and transportable. It's just plastic, and pretty clever. Guys on Dual Survival or something would kill for these when they're out there. I've never really had a lot of success with these, but it's there. What I've had more success with are these fire starters, these magnesium ferro rods. This one is kind of a pretty robust one. It's got the little saw there, so you can saw off magnesium shavings. It's got the ferro rod on the top. Comes on a little metal chain, so you can attach it to things. These are really, really reliable, throw off a lot of sparks, wet, dry, whatever. So I actually like these even more than matches sometimes, but matches are pretty convenient. The other thing I'm going to include here is a 8-pack of wet fire. I showed you these, man. You open these things up, they look like they're giant mitts. Don't eat them, but they're like fuel packets, and you can put these in a glass of water or submerge them, even with the wrapper off, and they will burn immediately afterwards. So they are impervious to water, and you can start a fire. You could cook right over these. They're almost like little fuel capsules that you would have in those portable stoves, and so you could do that. So the other thing I will related to this is, you're probably saying, well, what good is fire if I can't boil any water? And so I'm going to also include this. This is a stainless steel camping stove set. Now this is one I actually demoed on the video, so it has been used, although I didn't cook anything in it, or on it I should say, but it's kind of like this nesting stove type of thing, and it's meant to burn wood. And so the cool thing about it is you should be able to find fuel all over. Wildfires had fuel all over, but especially if you put one of the wet fires in here and then threw some sticks in there, these things burn like a Dickens. And so this is really nice. It's cleaned up. But like I said, other than the testing in the video, which you can go see, and I would encourage you to do that, you can check that out. I'm also going to include 3 of these Millennium Energy bars. Now these are like day treks, or like emergency survival food. They do have a taste to them, depending on what they are advertised as. Like this will have an orange taste, but they all kind of taste a little bit like dried fruit cake or pound cake or compressed cake. I mean, they're energy dense and they will keep you alive, and they don't taste bad, but I don't think you'd grab them as a snack. But they are really high calorie foodstuffs. The other thing I'm going to include here is the Wise Company, a package of this. It's tomato basil soup with pasta. So this is freeze dried, shelf stable. You can add boiling water to these things. They're like camping food. They can feed a number of people. They're pretty good, especially if you're in a survival situation. This is going to be amazing. But they're easy to pack because there's not a lot of bulk or weight to them. But for those of you that don't have the option when you're on your little survival hunt to eat anything but a meal ready to eat, we are going to include a meal ready to eat. Why do I always say we? I mean, it's going to be me. I am including a couple of meals ready to eat: refried black beans and garlic and herb chicken. And these are 2 entree meals or an entree and a side, that come in those packages that you can just heat up. I mean, you don't even have to heat these up. You can eat them just cold, but they are ready to eat. They're like canned soup, okay? So, especially when you're on the move, you don't have time to heat up water. These are really important. Now, I'm also going to include the civilian MRE. This is a full-blown MRE. This one includes a beef patty, and the crackers and the sides and the mixed drink and the dessert and the whole 9 yards and the utensils. The only thing that this doesn't include, because it's the civilian one, is the MRE heater, right? But I'm going to fix that by including 2 MRE heaters here. So, I mean, you've probably seen my demos of these. You just tear the top off, throw in like a shot glass or 2 shot glasses worth of water, heats up these heaters. They flash heat to like 180 degrees or something. So you want to put your meal in there first, then add the water, then roll the top over. But these will give you a piping hot meal, or don't drink this water, but you can use like these bags and heat up water for coffee or hot chocolate or something like that. So you get 2 of those. They can also save your life if you're dying of hypothermia or something like that too. The other thing I'm going to throw in here is a first aid kit. So this is a little one. It comes in this little nylon pouch. We have Band-Aids, tweezers, things like that in there. And then I am also going to include some things along the line of lights, right? So it's Hard to not have enough light. I did a review on these little keychain LED lights, so you're going to get one of those. You're also going to get an LED headlamp, which can be really, this does not include batteries, so you'll have to provide your own, I think, 3 AAA batteries, but an adjustable headlamp here. I did a review on those. I'm also going to include this Cisno flashlight, tactical flashlight. I did a review on this. It was a super bright, really nice flashlight. Since I just got it, I thought, why not pass it on to someone out there who is worthy and maybe in need of it. And then I also did a review on this Swift Trans LED lantern and flashlight. And so this can be a really cool thing. You can hang it up, runs on batteries, and like I said, super bright. So if you're hunkering down somewhere to have light, to be able to talk to friends, it's just a little bit of civilization and a really nice light package to do a couple double duty. Then I'm also going to provide this multi-tool. Also did a review on this. I just picked this thing up, and it's just kind of a cool little multi-tool in the fact that it's pliers. You never know when you're going to need these. And let's see, lock and unlock here. I gotta unlock it here. And I did a review on these, and so you have pliers, which can be really helpful. I really like this tool for the sake that it has a lot of other things, including like different screw bits here. We have an adjustable wrench right there. If I open up the pliers again, or if I don't have to, I guess, we have a blade right there. So what I really like about this particular multi-tool is it's truly a multi-tool. It's not just kind of different sized knives and saws and things like that, which can be a little redundant. So I really like that. And it comes with a holster, a belt mounted holster. And then the last thing I'm going to include here is, I did a review on this little bad boy a long time ago. It's an Eton weather band. This is the FRX2, which not only includes AM FM radio, but then also the weather band, so you can adjust it to there. This is going to be really important if you're out and dealing with the weather. I mean, a lot of natural disasters, by definition, are the result of weather-related, issues. And so I think having a weather band on an emergency radio is really, really important. Obviously, we have an LED flashlight, and then we have a hand crank dynamo as well. So that'll keep it running regardless of whether you have batteries. I'm also including this little package here, which includes the charging cable. This is actually not the charging cable that came with it. This is actually a much better charging cable in my opinion, because it has the mini USB cord here, but then it has deployable prongs, so you can plug it into an outlet if you have it. But then if you're in your car, it also has this arm which can plug into your lighter socket as well. So I think that makes this thing even more robust than some of the other ones out there that you might not have the right plug for, or you might need a charging block for. So you're going to get this Eton as well. And then lastly, you're going to get it all in the video review that I just did of this Bago backpack. So hopefully everything fits. It's a pretty decent sized day pack, but we've got kind of a lot of stuff here with bulk. So I'm going to put everything in here, and then the person who wins this giveaway is going to get everything, right, including the backpack. So hopefully that helps you guys stay safe. Hopefully you never need it. Hopefully you use this stuff for just your fun outdoor activities and hiking, but I wanted to show everything to you and give you some ideas so that if you're trying to put stuff together too yourself, it's as really as simple as getting a little food, a little stuff to eat, stuff to drink, stuff to provide you shelter or clothing or warmth, and then what I like are lights and tools. So keep that in mind if you're putting together yours. Now, how to win this bad boy? So what I'm gonna do is it's not gonna be timed per se, like a quick response giveaway, but what we will have to do is we'll have to close it up, say at the end of March. So whatever the last Saturday in March is the day I will pick one random winner. Again, the restrictions are going to be that you have to live in the US or Canada, because that's the only place I can afford to ship it. There's no big sponsor to this, no sponsors at all, except for the Panda channel. And then on the last Saturday in March, I will pick one random winner and just confirm with that person that you live in the United States or Canada. What I will be doing, though, is, again, just because I've been having some trouble with the giveaways on YouTube, is that you'll have to follow the link in the description to the Facebook post and like the Facebook post. That gives me, and I know it's a little bit of an extra step, but the reason I do that is it gives me the ability to reach out to that person because they have a Facebook account. When I comment on people's comments on YouTube, which is how I've given away things in in the past, often they don't see the comment because they have notifications turned off, or sometimes they never go back, or if they have notifications turned off, they never see it. But then there's no way for me to kind of bug them and say, hey, you won this and I want to get it to you. But Facebook seems to be much more reliable on that. So follow the link to the Facebook post in the description below and like the Facebook post. Comment on it too. Share it with other people. Love to get the idea out there for people to make their own, easy to make bug out bags. You don't have to overthink it. You don't have to do more. You don't have to go overkill on them. Just something is better than nothing. And so hopefully this gets some people started. But that being said, enough of that. This thing is going to be given away last weekend of March. Good luck to y'all. Peter Von Panda out.